travel to a faraway jungle to find the source, each having their own reasons. Welcome to the Tomb of Annihilation.
I will say I trust your guidance in this.
Oh, great!
Hey Ray.
Hey guys.
Virgo, I didn't hear you creeping in through the back there. So, this is my travel plan. Aye. I reckon it'll take us 9 days to get to the mouth of the river and then 12 days to Harak. Those measly pirates won't stand more than days of our time. Right. Any objections?
Nothing here.
Not really. Now that Ashaka's matter is solved by Ponty, I think we are good to go.
Eventually, the elevator comes to a rest as it reaches the bottom, and Musharib steps off and points across the grasslands. All right, Hugh, my fine gentleman. After you. Okay. And Hugh takes the lead across the grasslands, hefting his pack onto his back. He pulls his straps tight, and 1 foot in front of the other, he picks up the pace. And he seems to almost speed at a casual stroll across the grasslands towards the jungles on the other side, where the teacher took you to the barge. As you slowly move through, the sun rises through to its highest point, and you manage to reach the jungle between Kirsabal and the Olong River. By the time you exit the jungle, the sun is already on the horizon. Right. We're gonna have to cross the river by boat, and I reckon another 4 hours into the jungle and before we make camp. What say you?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Oh, get the boat ready then.
Sure.
Okay, Yelena, you're gonna use yours.
Yeah.
Alright, you whip it. You whip it from your pack and you begin to unfold the boat and set it up, and pulling out the oars. You all manage to settle into the boat as you push off from the bank, slowly paddling into the river current. And uncannily, somehow, both Hugh and Musharib have managed to time the ebb of the river, because the current isn't that strong. As you push out, it surges down, pushing you a little bit north, and within half an hour you reach the other side of the bank, almost exactly at the point on the map where he wanted to get off. As you finally reach the bank, but tired from the effort of paddling with the current, gather your belongings, fold the boat, and as you look up, Hugh and Musharib are already on the move into the jungle westwards.
They're quite eager. Might be faster than those 9 days they promised if we keep this pace.
Might be.
Well then, are you gonna be outrun by a dwarf? And Dustin sort of like sets in a light jog to catch up with them.
I've never been the athletic sort. Especially nowadays. I'd slightly jog after them.
Alright. It doesn't take you long to catch up to them, bearing in mind dwarves have got a 25 feet movement speed and you guys have got 30, so you catch up to them quite quickly. But it's the relentless pace. They manage to make their way through the jungle for the next 4 hours. Hugh, a good 10 feet in front of Musharib, And as you manage to catch up, Musharib slowly moves towards the back of the group. But as Hugh moves through the difficult terrain, he doesn't appear to slow down at all. Even as he moves through the jungle, his axe rises and falls in a constant motion. And the jungle just seems to part in front of him. Before long...
Does he carry a bow?
He does not. Actually,
Ah.
when you look at him, he's only got a battle axe with his one arm. Even his stumpless shoulder doesn't seem to slow him down. You slowly make your way behind him, and before long, it is almost pitch black as the sun descends below the horizon. Musharib from the back pulls out a torch to light the area around you while Hugh works in the dark. You carry on moving through the jungle, and some hours later, exhausted, having marched an extra 4 hours through the night, you manage to catch up to Hugh, who is sitting in the centre of a small clearing. He's chewing on some hard meat, axe across his knees as he waits for you all.
I have to say that you defend yourself pretty well in the jungle. Margot says as he clears a little bit of sweat from his head.
Well, yeah, you know, I've been in the jungle all my life. Yeah. It's not difficult when you're as tall as me, you know, ducking under trees and dodging stuff. And of course,
I suppose.
I've got my Sheila with me.
What's that?
My Sheila. And as he says the name Sheila, he holds up his battle axe, and it sort of twinkles in the torchlight. Pulls it closer to him and gives his battle axe a little kiss. And we've been through a lot together, she and I. So, this is our campsite for the evening. You know, feel free to set up what you normally do. No fire though. The jungle between the River Olong and the Soshan Star is rife with undead. Best we not give them a reason to investigate the light, right?
Right.
You guys go ahead and set up camp?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
While they're setting up, Yalana might ask for some advice on where to put. I think I have it. Please double check before I even say anything. Alarm. Like where she'll ask like Musharib or his friend where they say they think the best place to put it is, and then she'll put it there.
Hugh looks up and goes, "Oh well, I'm not really much of a spellcaster, so got me, you know." Oh, lassie, I'm not the person to ask either, you know. Alarm. I mean, can you set a perimeter? If we all kind of huddle together for warmth, like, you look quite comfortable with, you know, laying on the ground.
Yeah, I suppose I can put 4 up and make a smallish circle. Won't be a very big one, but
Ah, that's alright, lassie. I don't mind a cuddle in the night.
In case you mind cuddling in the night, Jerlena, we can combine our spells, I think. I can also cast Alarm. That will make the circle bigger.
I think that might be a good idea. We also don't want them right on top of us, otherwise their purpose is a bit obsolete.
You visibly see Musharif's shoulders sort of sag, and you realise he's disappointed with no cuddles.
No cuddles.
He looks at Hugh and he's like, "Ah, elves. They don't like dwarves, even though we're cuddly. Ah, I know, mate. I know. So, you set up camp for the night. I need everyone to roll an exhaustion check for me. That's Constitution DC 14, please.
Saving throw or what?
Saving throw. Well, no, sorry, it's an
Oh,
exhaustion.
right.
It's a check. So it's a Constitution check.
Oh, well, in that case, I will have to give it another try. What a shame.
What was the DC you said?
Yeah, Lena, it's not a save. You can roll again if you want for a check.
Oh, it's a check.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mine's
I didn't get any
save
better.
it anyways.
Did you say the DC was 16?
Dustin, you shouldn't have rolled again, man. You should have kept your previous
Yeah,
one.
but it was a con and a save, and I would have withdrawn 3 from it, and it would just have been terrible. So no, it wouldn't have made a difference.
Alright. Fair enough. So, anyone that did not get a 14, that would be dusted. Did everyone else pass? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Then, so you'll pick up 1 level of exhaustion.
Ooh, wait. DM, I might have disadvantage because of my armor. Is that right?
No. Not in this instance. The disadvantage for armor comes when you have run out of water and you are dehydrated.
Alright.
So you need
Good to know.
you need 2 water skins a day in order to remain hydrated, and each of you are carrying 2. So as long as you refill them when there is no rain during the day, you will never have to worry about a dehydration check. And of course, Lunan has got to create water spell or something, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so as long as you don't replace that spell with anything else, then it's a given. If it doesn't,
I'm not sure if I have it active right now. It depends. We didn't sleep at Kersebal, right?
correct. You did not.
Let me
If-
check.
If we are next to River Olong, Barco can cast Purify Food and Water and take water from the river.
Yeah, correct. I will.
I do not have it active at the moment.
Okay. I'll let it slide at the minute because you are 15 miles into the jungle deep. So I will say that you probably did that whilst you were on the boat. If that's the case.
Alright.
Yeah, so dehydration is a save, but exhaustion for travelling over 8 hours per day is a check. And it's DC 10 Constitution plus 1 hour over 8
Alright.
whenever you stop for a rest. So, watch order, please. If you want to put up a watch, of course.
I'll take the first 4 hours
Okay.
and then sleep the last 4. Well,
Mhm.
meditate the last 4.
I see.
But we were inside of Shield War.
You're within the alarm spell, so you don't have to set up a watch if you don't want to.
No, I will still be awake. So I will take after Jarlena.
So Yelena first, then Lunan. Are you resting 10 hours? Or are you going to try and just stick to 8?
I think 8 is fine.
Okay. As you're busy discussing this, you look around and both the dwarves, you just hear... Both of them are already fast asleep.
They don't slow down for anything.
So, if it's just Lunan and Yelena on watch, I would like you to roll perception checks for me, please.
I will let Jarlena do it first.
Okay, 16.
It's almost really bad.
Oh, it's the same as your con check as well. Wow, 16s are... Alright. And Lunan? mind your passive perception is 17. So anything that's a 17 that you see out the corner of your eye, you'll get. But if you're actively looking with a 12, you don't actually see anything.
I heard something. Turn to look. No, there is no dinosaur standing straight in front of me.
Correct. So, Lunan, it is nearing the end of your watch. As you're looking around, you notice the sky slowly turning from black to grey as the stars begin to disappear with sunrise. Rays of pink appear on the horizon, just peeking through the tops of the trees. And then you feel it. A small tremor in the ground. You didn't notice it at first, but then it comes again. Almost like the ground is vibrating. And out of the corner of your eye, you can almost swear that you see the tops of the trees shaking. And as you strain to listen, Hugh sits bolt upright, axe in hand, eyes wide. Hurt! Musharib jumps up in a flash. Quick, everyone! We need to move! And he grabs his pack and his blanket in one fluid motion and starts stuffing his blanket into his pack, swinging it onto his back as Hugh does the same, one foot on his pack and the other, his only arm, trying to stuff in his blanket into the top of it. What are you guys do?
Are we awake?
No, well, yeah, by the time Musharib shouts, you're all actually huddled close together in a circle, so yes, you wake up and you hear him.
We stand up and pack our stuff, grab our stuff and...
Yeah.
Yeah, Bargo cast Dark Vision on himself.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, dusted is up on his feet.
Maybe have a quick look around while packing.
You take a look around, and as you do, about at the edge of your dark vision, Vargo, you notice some of the trees are starting to sway, and you hear the snapping and breaking of branches, everybody else as well, as you suddenly look southwards, almost towards where the river was from. A horde of skeletons and zombies are slowly moving towards you. I'd probably say they're moving at about 15 feet movement speed, and in the center of them is the biggest gorilla that you have ever seen. He has 4 arms, and let's send that to the game log so you can have a look-see.
Probably also the first gorilla I've ever seen.
The flesh sort of dripping off his bones, and you can see exposed bone and flesh underneath as rotted pieces are falling off with every single step and movement that he makes. And in the center, as he stops, you notice the rest of them sort of stop, huddling around him. And then he looks towards where your camp is, and they slowly start making their way towards you. Are you going to stay, or are you going to run?
I think we should run.
I would just let you guys know I don't see the battle map, so I can't do anything strategical.
No! Can you... It's on Twitch if you can get on Twitch.
They are about 55, 60 feet away from us.
Yeah. They'll reach you in 2 turns.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
While packing, I asked the dwarves, will it be wiser to take care of them or to run?
Alright, and as you're packing and you look up, the Hugh is no longer there. Hugh has bolted. He's not running, but he's walking at a fast sort of a jog. He doesn't break his stride, but he's got his axe in hand and he steps into the deeper jungle as he's swinging and he's trying to get through the undergrowth and the brush, hacking away. Mushrib, come on, yous! What you doing there? It's a bloody herd! Let's go! Almost whispering as he's shouting.
Well,
You heard them?
We're moving as quick as we can.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I need everyone to roll an athletics check for me, please. As you pack up all of your goods and you grab stuff and you begin to run, bolting after Musharib and Hugh.
oh wait,
Dusted,
that is with it was with disadvantage. I need to roll again. Yeah, it's a 2. It's a 2 both times.
double twos. Dusted and Vargo, as you grab things, your pack slips out of your hand, you trip. Dusted's like his boot in one hand, skipping and hopping, trying to do up his laces, and then falls over into the ground. Dirt caked on his face. He's like, oh, wait for me! Vargo slowly running past and almost trips over Dusted as well. Yelena's gone. Valrus far beyond Yelena on their heels, and Lunan, you didn't even see him, he packed up so quickly. Dusted and Vargo, you look up, and as you do, you notice that the zombies have stopped, and they're all of a sudden their bodies, almost as one unit, in synchronization, turn towards you as they hear you trip and fall. And then, like a running gait, a man with a shorter leg than the other, they almost start walking towards you, limping, dragging their limbs, and I need both of you to roll another athletics check, please, or acrobatics this time. Athletics, please. Oh, geez, like.
Yeah, but it's still a 14. It's still with disadvantage. I still have exhaustion. We didn't get full 8 hours, so.
Okay.
No, actually, it was almost exactly. You got about 7 and 50, so I would say it's not with advantage in this instance. You've managed a good long rest.
Oh, okay, I'll remove the exhaustion then.
Yeah. Right.
26 then.
Alright, as you do, you almost seem to like do a little forward roll Dark Soul style and grab your pack and get moving as you chase Vargo just in front of you to catch up with the others. The black from the sky doesn't fully disappear as the sun rises with the winds. As you're running through the jungle, trying to keep up, sticking to the path that Hugh is creating, high above you, the treetops begin to whip around as the wind starts to pick up in intensity. And with it, you hear the rain. Come on, rain. Ooh. The rain pelting down through the jungle canopy and big droplets splashing in your faces, creating muddy water underneath. The howling wind grows closer, drowning out the sounds of the undead chasing you as the rain is stinging against your body. And then, within minutes, it disappears, just as quickly as it arrives. And the sky grows brighter as the clouds seem to part, and around you, the sounds of the jungle begin to return to normal. Hugh, staring upwards, looks around, and then nods. Time to move, I reckon. Okay, follow me. And he heads off westwards again. You notice he's got a ration in his hand as he marches towards the Eldani Basin. Is anyone else going to grab something to eat?
Dustin is going to hand around. So we are. How many are we when if Hugh is already careful? We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right?
Yeah. Musharib doesn't need ration. He's also got his own.
Okay, then 5.
So just the 5
handing
of you.
around.
Yeah. Okay. So as you're
Rations deducted.
As you're moving through the jungle ahead of you, the rising and falling of Hugh's axe becomes a regular feature to your morning. The weather grows hotter, and the day, it seems to grow longer. Sometime towards midday, you can only tell it's midday because the sun is high above you, piercing straight down through the canopy into your eyes. Shielding your eyes from the sun, you can hear a small squeal from up ahead. It's about midday.
I give a look. What was that? The thing that made the squeal?
Alright, looking up ahead of you, do you stop and look around, or do you just move closer to the sound?
Whatever it needs to discern the source.
Alright, so looking ahead, you can see Hugh in front of you, maybe 50 feet. He's standing in front of a big, thick tree, and he's staring down at something on the ground.
What is that?
Are you going to take a closer look?
Yes.
I need everyone else and you, Tvago, to roll a perception check for me, please.
High roller.
Wow,
All
Valrus.
perception all the time.
We are tired.
It's obviously another tabaxi. But
Ooh,
you can see it.
thank you, Yelena.
Yelena
I
and
don't
Vargo.
know.
Oh yeah.
Wow. As you slowly make your way towards Hugh, getting closer, you take a look at what he's standing over, and on the ground he's skewered a small brown and grey-haired animal. Stumpy little nose, pointy little ears, 4 legs, cloven hooves. It looks like a pig of some sort. Well, guess that's lunch sorted then, eh? Someone gonna get a fire going? Yelena and Fargo, as you're making your way closer, picking up the sounds of the jungle around you, dissecting everything coming towards your ears, you notice the undead are no longer chasing you. Hugh bends over and he grabs the animal to start slicing and preparing it for cooking. And Washarib sits on the ground and starts setting about, looking to cook a fire. Pulls out a little pot, pulls out some flint and tinder. He's got like a brown block of some sort of putty in his hand that he plops on the ground and gathers up some leaves and some wood, pops it in a pile on top of this brown block, and then bang! The fire lights instantly, and the little block that he put on the ground underneath all of that, all of a sudden, like a petrol bomb inside a fire or a barbecue, it just takes over. The wood starts to burn. He sets the pot on a small little stand over the cook fire, and he's like, "Right, Hugh, come on then, mate." Hugh moves over with his carved pig and skewers it with a stick through, and the legs go into the pot as they pour some water in. Looks like they're making pig trotter stew and some grilled pork. Are you going to sit down and have some lunch?
Yes.
Don't think we're gonna march off without them.
Alright.
Well done. I say well done, Musharif. A feast worthy of Portman and Saru.
Yeah, you know, little bit of team in the jungle and you manage to learn a trick or two. You can thank Hugh over there for finding a little piggy, eh? No worries, you know, you're welcome. Part of the service, isn't it, you know? Nothing like reaching destiny with a full belly.
After do you get around in the jungle? Seem to be quite used to traversing.
Who, me?
Yeah, both of you.
I've been here about 70 years,
Oh,
give or take, yeah. Lost my arm 50 years ago to that red dragon. Been looking for it for the last 50 years, you know. Probably gristled by now. Yeah. What you talking about? I told you. All we need to do is find you an artificer and get you one of them metal arms and like... No, those things make too much noise in the jungle, you know. Can't go killing beasties and sneaking up on them with like creaky arms, and don't forget, they rust, don't they? Any dwarf will tell you, leave the metal out in the sun and the rain. It's gonna pick up some rust. And I've only
I'm
got
sure
one
they
arm.
have. Surely they have magics against that.
Well, what's the point in that, you know, paying a bit of extra for polish? Nah, just gotta find myself a spell and grow it back, you know. Yeah. Or, the plan is to kill that bloody dragon and then sew one of his arms onto my body. Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah,
it goes well.
Yeah, that will do it.
That's what I thought too, you know. Maybe even give me some like fire resistance or something. Yeah.
For an arm.
He bites into the pig as he starts eating and nodding. Pig juice sort of like drooling down his beard and landing in his lap and...
How do I frame this question? Do I get a sense that he's more intelligent than he appears?
Roll an insight check for me.
Alright.
Why do I have a feeling that you're looking to me, Jalena, and then to Shu, and then back at me and Jalena, and then to Shu? That's kind of insulting.
Yeah, there's definitely some cross stairs between us, yeah. 15 DM.
I mean, with a 15, he seems quite genuine. Hugh looks like a man of simple means, simple requirements, and simple goals. On a scale of 1 to 20, I mean, he probably comes in at a 8, 9, or 10, if you were to think about intelligence. And while you're sitting there staring at him, just to test it, you like hold up a finger and then flick another one up, and how many am I holding? Can't count, you know. I know what one big dragon looks like, but yeah. He's a simple man of simple means. Strong and hardy as a dwarf is, you know, he's pretty well built. Probably wouldn't want to come up against him on your own in a fight, but not too bright.
Alright. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I think that finger trick tells us everything we need to know.
Alright. 2 hours later, and a short rest later, your bellies are full of succulent pig. Musharib stands and begins to kick sand over the remaining fire. He waits for the sand to stop the flames, and then as he does, he kicks away the tinder and the rest of the wood that's been left over and reaches into the fire with his boot, kicking it away to reach for the block that he lit. Covered in sand, he picks it up with his bare hands, and you notice it doesn't even burn. I mean, the block was on fire 2 minutes ago. Blows it, wipes off the sand, you know, like you would do, shoes on a beach style, and then just pops it in his pack again. Well, we'd best be on the move again, right? Lots of ground to cover. And without even waiting for you to answer, he just heads off into the jungle. Do you guys follow?
I say yes. I say to Lunan
Yeah.
when we are going. I think our friend wants to go to Harakamar quickly. but we can use that speed for our advantage.
Well, Destiny definitely seems to have a move on. And does it nods in the direction of the dwarves as he picks up the pace after them.
Roll a perception check for me, Dusted.
Nope. Dusted is too caught up in his own smarm to care for anything else.
Yep. Alright, so the afternoon passes swiftly, with Hugh up ahead carving a path through the jungle. Towards late afternoon, the light begins to fade as the day nears dusk, when a sound, Lunan, catches your attention.
What do I hear?
The familiar sound of bones clicking together and the groans.
More skeletons?
If I can get it to play, then yes. Yeah, the familiar sound of groaning and the clacking of bones together reaches your ears. Roll a perception check for me, please.
Oh, finally.
Oh shoot, that's a good one. With a DC 15, you could tell that the sound is coming from the north above you, a half a mile away. And I mean, half a mile is reasonably close, but as you listen with a 20, in the background of that you can faintly hear another set of groaning. But this time, it sounds like it's coming from the south. Maybe about 2 miles out. How you picked it up with a 25 is uncanny. But you can definitely hear 2 groups of undead converging on you from opposite sides.
Guys, they are coming in from all directions. We need to hurry out of here if we wanna survive this.
Are they following us? Is that even... Are they intelligent enough?
I don't know. There's some foul magics going on here. They might be able to sense us in some way.
I don't know if they need to be intelligent. They might only need to be a lot. What do you guys want to do? Do we take care of them?
If we weren't willing
If we
on taking
couldn't
on
take
one
one
pack, I
group,
don't think
yeah.
2 will. Best we get out of here.
Alright. So, as you are discussing this, Musharib's ears perk up and he looks at you and he slowly comes over while you're walking. He's like, You heard that? Oh. Is it just the one? What you hear?
There are plenty of them all over the place.
Well, what direction are they coming from?
South and north.
What, 2 herds?
Which one? Luna, which one is closer?
The northern ones are about 1,000 meters up.
That could be any amount
What's
of
a
undead.
meter? In any case, we might want to engage the one that's closest. That way, when we face the second group, they might be already done for.
What? Boy, are you mad? There's 2 herds. There could be any amount of undead. They have the numbers for sure, and there's no hiding from the undead. They're just as effective at night as they are during the day. We should
How
run.
long till the basin?
We should be at the basin tomorrow afternoon.
We might be able to run for 2 straight days.
Just
I
to
don't
clear,
know if that is a good idea.
we didn't get the rest at the end, or?
You managed a long rest the night before, and you've just had a short rest.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reset my spells.
Either way, we should probably move. We can't. If we stay and fight them, who knows how many more will appear.
I agree with the lassie. Folk this, I ain't staying waiting here today. Hugh! Quick! Let's cut a path out of here! And he turns and chases after Hugh and whips out his axe as both dwarves start hacking away deeper into the jungle.
Alright, let's do it. Let's do this then.
Right. You set off at a jog as Hugh is joined by Musharib up front, doubling the efforts to move through the jungle swiftly. With every minute that passes, the sky above grows darker. Hugh turns back to you and whispers loudly, "No torches! We've got to do this in the dark!" And then he turns back to beating a path in front of him. Do you comply?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. I need everyone to roll a perception check for me as you move through the... If Vargo, you're the only one who gets... Unless... Vargo, do you cast darkness? Dark vision?
I can start vision. There's no interest in us getting pointed with the light. Yes.
Was that a yes or a no?
Yes. I
Can't-
can start
okay.
vision.
Alright, in which case then it's just a normal roll, no disadvantage. As you make your way through the jungle at night, relying on your dark vision, who got below 10?
I did as the only one, I think.
Yeah.
I
Dusted. As you are moving through the night, slowly but surely you begin to fall to the back of the pack, tripping over foliage throughout the travel in the evening seems to be slowing you down. The night grows darker as both Hugh and Musharib take turns to hack their way deeper into the jungle while ducking and hacking and dodging and hacking, swapping places and then repeating. Following behind you, you can hear the sounds of the undead, and every now and then, Dusted, as you peer behind you, you try and check to see what's coming up at the back. Can you roll a perception check for me again, please?
Panicked, cannot see anything.
A 7. Looking back, you can probably see about 20-30 feet or so, but the problem is, as you look back, the path the dwarves are taking is in a zigzag. They aren't going in a straight line. So whenever you look behind you, all you see are like the corners of the jungle, and you can't see 20 meters past the next corner. After a few hours, the dwarves begin to slow. I think we may have lost them. These buggers are relentless, but we need to keep moving. Come on then. You carry on running, moving through the jungle.
Yeah.
Alright. As you keep moving, it's about 3 hours later. I need everyone to roll a perception check, please.
There we go.
Oh. 18, 19,
Ooh.
17. Dustin with a 7.
Oh,
Vargo with a 13. The rest of you, you're busy moving through, and as you're looking behind you, Dustin is slowly falling further back. You can still see him, but he's about 10 feet behind the last man, behind Musharib, who's running forwards and backwards, changing places with Hugh. And as Yelena and Lunan and Velris. You got a 13, yeah. So the three of you, as you look back, you catch a glimpse in the moonlight of some of the undead. Maybe 250 feet from Dusted. A group of them, closely jam-packed together as they're slowly moving. Only now they seem to be double in size to the group that you last saw earlier. What you gonna do? The distance behind there is actually the distance I mentioned to you. I've just illustrated it on a map. In amongst all of the undead, you notice that there is an undead stegosaurus in the midst of their ranks, and you can clearly see it. The spikes on its back sticking up far above the skeletons and the zombies that are surrounding it. As they
how many zombies can we count?
You rolled a 19 perception, didn't you? There's a good 3 or 4 dozen.
Great.
Looking around, you notice that Hugh and Musharib have picked up the pace.
We should keep going faster. I wonder why there are so many of them.
Nothing else to do.
So you all head off at a run?
Yeah.
Quiet run.
As long as we are faster than them.
Yelena might try and see if she can very quietly ask either Musharib or Hugh, do you know why there are so many undead around here?
Hack, swish, swash, hack. As you do, you're kind of like in the front talking to them, and lassie, surely you've heard of Rasnazi and the undead army that he tried to raise and attack back in the days when he was outcast. No?
I've heard a little bit, and we have encountered some, but we've never had so many repeated encounters.
Right,
You know?
well, you remember the map that I showed you?
Yes.
And he, as he's busy hacking, he pulls out his little map. Right, well, this here is Mesro, right? And he points to Mesro. The entire jungle from Mesro south is sort of, it's hemmed in by rivers, canyons, and the Aldani Basin. There is nowhere else for the undead to go. They cannot cross the rivers, so they cannot get out. They're stuck in this whole middle passage, and unfortunately, the middle section of the jungle is, key if you want to go anywhere in Chult. You've got to pass through. Now, where we're travelling is a little bit of a hotspot, or at least this middle section over there. Let me just quickly... Let's draw a circle. That's not the circle I wanted. Right? So, that sort of area, there's a couple of hot spots where they congregate and they can hear for miles and smell, but this entire brown section, there's a lot of undead. It was once said that Raznazi chased the Ishawi tribes when they attacked Mesro all the way down to the Valley of Lost Honor, where he slaughtered 50,000 of them. And he returned to Mesro triumphant and was then cast down as a paladin. Still able to access his powers from Ubto, he went back to the Valley of Lost Honor, raised all of them dead Ishowi tribe members into undead, and went back to Mesro to try and take over the city and kill his sworn brothers and sister paladins. And that was when they first raised their magical defense shields and moved Mesro to another plane. This was maybe 200 years ago. So, afterwards, when
Excuse me.
Aye.
Moved the city.
Aye.
Just gonna underline that because I think that's the first time we hear that.
Yes, it is actually.
Yeah, so just putting a note here that says that. Thank you very much.
It is the first time you've heard that. So, eventually when Ubtao turned his back on Chult, all of the paladins lost all of their godly given powers. And it is said that Raznazi lost his command over the undead, and ever since then they've been wandering the jungles, lost, hungry, looking for the man who slayed them.
I see. So, until we get to the river, we will be running from undead that want to eat us. While they look for the lost paladin.
You know, the undead, they're drawn to any sort of holy worshipping power.
Oh.
Because they're raised by a paladin, I believe. That is the source of their anger. It's a good thing none of you are paladins, eh?
If I had known, I would have said something.
Yeah, funny that.
But,
Also, yeah.
I didn't know they were attracted to paladins. So
Are you
paladin?
you know about paladins?
I am one.
What? Shut up.
Do you think that's why they're so relentless in chasing us down?
If I had known, I would. Well, I suppose there's not much I can do.
Could be. It could be this. And Dustin holds out the hammer.
True enough.
No.
Both of them are kind of sort of like beacons of that shit.
And you're all busy marching through the jungles at a bit of pace while you're talking and having this conversation, and he turns around. Hugh! This lassie, she's a fucking paladin! We've got no wonder we got a fucking beacon with us! Oh, you've got to be bloody kidding me. What are we doing standing around here chit-chatting when we've got this bloody golden child with us? Hey.
I wouldn't really put it like that.
Rachel's now thinking to herself, why did I play a paladin?
Oh, all the undead want to kill me.
Because when we finally fight them, she's gonna wreck them. Don't worry.
And Hugh bends his back to busy hacking through the jungle, and you can just hear him mumbling under his breath. Bloody paladin. Typical, you know. Free service, destiny, godly bloody powers putting us in this... grumble, grumbles, whack, whack.
Hey, don't lump me in with all those human paladins, thank you.
Oh, you religious type, you're all the same, you know.
No.
Yeah, one track mind, got this, got that, you know, doing good. Oh, or is it vengeance or something? Yeah, we know your kind, you know. That's why you don't see any dwarven paladins, you know.
I suppose I did want to kill Bert.
Bert? Who's Bert?
He tried to kill us, but I wasn't allowed to kill him.
You see?
He was an assassin.
Oh yeah, and of course your divineness stopped you from killing him, eh?
No.
Oh.
He points to the others. They wouldn't let me kill him.
What? Are you all paladins then?
No.
Dustin just scoffs and shakes his head. He's not prevented Jaletta doing anything ever.
Bert, hey? Bert sounds like a nice guy, though. I mean, I had a friend called Bert once. Yeah.
And this one tried to kill us in our sleep.
Oh.
Exactly.
Multiple times.
To be fair, it is the safest. Dustin just says coldly.
Alright, so as you move through the night, through the dense jungle, the night becomes a game of cat and mouse. Running through, hacking, slashing through bushes, only to leave the undead behind, encounter an obstacle for them to catch up again to you. And every time that happens, looking behind you, except Dusted, everyone else, you notice the group of undead just seems to be growing more and more with every passing hour. Until, eventually, the nighttime sky slowly begins to grow lighter as it creeps closer to dawn. I think we may have lost them. I kinda hear nothing. What do you want to do?
I think we should keep going. I don't trust that they suddenly disappeared.
Oh, hey. Right, that's a wise voice for a paladin.
And then you
Nothing
don't
wrong
hear
with being paladin.
you don't hear them either, do you?
I don't hear them. I don't know about Beacon Lady, though.
You think I have some million-mile sense for undead? No, I hate the things. I don't
Yeah.
have where I come from.
Lemon, you were the first to notice them earlier. Are they still around?
Okay, she'll see if she can hear any undead.
Roll
I guess she'll
perception.
use. She'll also
Oh.
use a thing of her. What's it called? Thingy.
The divine sense.
Divine sense. That's it. Yeah. So she'll see if she can hear them. I guess a bit further away, but also see if there's any like reasonably close. Because I think divine sense is like 60 foot. Yeah.
Roll a perception check. And then you use your divine sense.
This is kind of like a backup.
As you reach out with your divine sense and you open your ears as well and your perception to try and listen, you don't sense any undead immediately in the vicinity. And listening out, it does seem, with a 19, like you've lost them. And then at the edge of your hearing, you can just hear the rustling of trees and the clacking of bones again and some small groanings, but very faintly. They must be maybe a mile behind or less.
Well, there are none nearby. And the only ones that I can hear are maybe a mile away, maybe a bit less. I wonder if another paladin has entered the area, or maybe two.
Mashrib looks around at the rest of the party, eyeing you one at a time, as if she's talking about you. No? Well, if they're that close, maybe we should skip the rest and just carry on, eh?
I agree. I don't. Just in case whatever has distracted them goes away.
Are we still in the forested area, or have we gotten out to the swampy area?
Not even close. At the moment, I would say you
Yes.
are...
I see there's little dots. Is it that dot?
No.
Oh, that one. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
according
Yeah.
to the dwarves, we have a whole day of running to do still.
Yep. If
That
you,
Twitch is slow at updating, so I'm waiting for it to update.
you're about there at the moment. You're still through the jungle. Look, roll a survival check for me, and I could tell you.
No, I see. Perfect. But that's pretty good, at least.
That would be a... Yeah, I should have got you to roll a bloody survival check before I even gave it away. Okay, well that's exactly where you are.
I can roll it anyway.
God damn it. It's because you got guides with you that I don't keep rolling survivals.
I have advantage and +8 in survivals.
Yeah, I
I
know.
would have been dead otherwise.
So, you keep moving. As you hack your way through the jungle, running. An hour later, breathing hard, the sky begins to turn lighter, and you can just about hear the familiar groaning coming from the path behind you as the undead make ground. They're gaining on us! Musharib calls to Hugh behind him. We'll have to try and lose them in the bog, or maybe near it. He stops and turns to the rest of you. I hope you don't fall behind, because this is going to be a long day. And then he turns back to the jungle ahead, hefts his axe, and he goes running into the foliage ahead of him with Musharib on his tail. You guys follow?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. Heads up, looking ahead as you run through the jungle, one foot in front of the other. You don't notice the rising heat as the sun slowly climbs into the morning sky. All of your focus is on making it through the jungle in one piece. And then, as you look about, the jungle begins to thin. And you can hear a small triumphant cry from up ahead. Rah! From Musharib, who's running at pace. Following, you manage to burst through some of the undergrowth and out into open grasslands. The sun is shining above you, nearing its peak. As you burst forth, you notice that you're surrounded by green, rolling hills, covered with knee-high grasses and wild flowers. The dwarves ahead of you cut northwards, skirting the jungle line as they head towards some rocky, barren hills about 4 miles above you. No longer impeded by the jungle, you manage to catch up to the dwarves very quickly, and looking around, you take in the scenery. Roughly 30 miles west and south of you are the rolling grasslands, which appear to almost be sloping down a little bit towards an edge where, from the map, you know it drops away into the basin. Probably about 400 feet below you. To the northwest, you can see another line of trees, and then the dwarves turn towards that new line of trees, and as you follow them, your eyes look just a little bit above the tree line, and you notice grey clouds forming above their destination. Musharib turns as he's running. Looks like we can use those trees for some cover. There's a storm coming. Hurry, we need to get there before it hits.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Lena will run after them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everyone else?
Tired sigh and then following them.
Yeah.
Alright, so you nod, look behind you as you start running, and all across the plateau you can see undead emerging from the trees at a shambling run. There appear to be about 4 groups of 2 or 3 dozen, heading in various directions. One group appears to be heading directly for you, hot on your heels, Yelena. But that is not what catches your eye. Behind them, 40 miles southward, is a strange sight. In the distance, a mountain of rock appears to be floating high above the ground. It's almost oval in shape, with a great tree growing out of the center. And the rock, for those of you particularly Lunan who are used to healing, it looks like it's the shape of a human heart. I would put it down about that area around about there, maybe a bit lower.
Do you two know what that is? she'll ask Mushroom or Hugh and point to the floating heart rock.
Neither of them. They're about 200 meters ahead of you and running.
Oh, are they? Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
They're running up to the tree
She'll
line.
hold her question until she catches up.
All right. You put your head down as you start running after them, and you're pushing hard towards those trees, chasing the dwarves. And for some reason, they're moving just as fast on open ground as they were through the jungle. Not slowing down, just a constant pace without tiring. Takes you about an hour. And just as you're hit by lashing rains and wild winds, you hit the edge of the jungle where they're headed and follow inside, as Hugh and Musharib stand on either side of the trees, guarding the jungle edge, waiting for you to enter. Now's your chance, Yelena. I take it you all move into the jungle?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
As they do, she'll point to the floating rock if it's still visible.
From where you are, yes. It's a little bit downhill. It's sort of below you at an angle, but all of a sudden the rains have hit you, and you can see where you are it's cloudy, but in the distance it's almost like glowing from the sunlight that's not covered by the rain. And he sees you, and you ask him your question. He's like, "Aye, that there is called the heart of Ubto. It is rumoured that when he left, this was part of him inside. It still holds part of the god's heart, you know. It was once below the ground when Ubta was on land and was a protector, but now that he's gone, it seems to have raised. It's a place of power, but nobody knows how to get up there, and the Red Wizards guard it with vehement violence."
What are the Red Wizards?
The Red Wizards are treasure seekers, a cult of treasure seekers looking to bring Dendar, the Night Serpent, from his imprisonment into the world today. Come on,
Have I ever encountered the Red Wizards?
Encountered? No, none of you have actually ever met a Red Wizard.
Okay.
And even in your schooling, roll an intelligence check and add your proficiency modifier.
Do you want me to roll Arcana? Because that's the same.
Arcana's good then. I didn't want to say Arcana, but yeah, go then. Wow.
It's intelligence plus proficiency.
Yeah. So the Red Wizards, the only thing you know is that they're known as the Red Wizards of Thay. They are a group or a cult. You don't know enough about the history of Chult to know who Dendar is. But you have heard that they roam far off lands looking for lost treasures and specifically artifacts to try and bring forth lost gods or gods who have been imprisoned and free them into the world to wreak havoc and chaos.
Alrighty.
They were probably the chaotic evil counterpart to what the wizarding school is that you've attended. Yeah. As you are recalling this information and Yolena Musharib finishes his explanation about them, he makes a complicated motion with his hands and sprinkles some ash and some leaves on the ground in front of him. Shadows rise and then seem to fall from him with the sprinkles. He looks down at the ground and then nods, satisfied, turns, grabs you by the elbow and, "That should buy us some time, hopefully. Right, let's go! And he picks up the pace as he catches up with Hugh.
Hello?
As you catch up with Hugh, you notice that he's put his pack on the ground, he's reached in, pulled out some rations, and best we eat on the move, you know. Don't want my tummy reminding me I'm hungry while I'm busy running. Right. And he munches down on a ration to keep his strength up, and then turns, grabs his Zack after hefting his backpack onto his shoulder, and moves in closer to the jungle and starts swinging again.
What was that spell you cast back there?
You asking Mushrib?
Yes.
It's a little spell I've learnt in my ranging days. That's gonna hide our trail. Hopefully, you know, with Beacon Lady over here, we're gonna need all the help we can get.
Hopefully it does help.
Roll an Arcana check for me.
+0. 16.
Wow. Looking at the ingredients, thinking back about what he said to you, yeah, with a 16, he's cast Pass Without Trace.
I think I've heard of that one.
Keeping pace with the dwarves, you manage to make your ways through the jungle, and 4 hours later, emerge on the other side from a small gap and back into the grasslands. 20 miles west in the distance, you can see the edge of the grasslands as they disappear into the basin. And looking behind you, into the jungle miraculously, it appears that you've outrun the undead. We have to make it to that cliff edge and onto the steps before dark. Hopefully we can find a place the undead cannot reach. Otherwise we're just gonna have to keep pushing till we reach the water. Come on, use. Do you guys head off?
Keep on rushing forward.
Yeah.
Alright. The run to the edge where the basin rests below you takes over 5 hours to get there as you guys are pacing through the grasslands. The sun makes its way across the sky, and as you reach your destination, looming over the cliff edge in the dusk, you can see below you 3 100-foot high steps leading down into the basin below. Each ledge is about 20 foot wide, and it ends in rolling green landscape and crumbling soil. And as you look below that, you can see 20 miles in the distance a lake, marked on the map as well. Tall grasses below you, and as you're standing there taking it all in, Mushrib breaks your reverie. They're coming, he says as he swings his pack off his back, reaches in and pulls out a rope and a piton. He leans over and he starts hammering the piton into the ground in front of him. As he round turn 2 half hitches with the rope, he ties off a knot over there, yanks on it twice. Right. Y'all ready? How many ropes have we got?
No. I've got some,
I think I might have one.
and I'll bring mine out.
Right. So you're standing on a cliff edge. 100 feet below you, there is a ledge which is about 20 foot wide, like a big step. That ledge then leads 100 foot down to another ledge, and then finally a third ledge. And below that is the Aldani Basin, the grasslands, the big green area just over here. And that sort of seems to almost sway, left and right, like flowers moving in the wind, or the grasslands when the wind is slowly blowing. And the grasslands then lead down into the lake and the bottom of the basin. And as you look around, it almost looks as if something has collapsed underground, which is why they call it a basin, because the lake must be a good 600 feet below the height of the point where you're standing at the moment. You would probably need to tie 2 lengths of rope together to climb the 100-foot down or shimmy down, or you can roll an athletics check to climb down the face of the wall, the 100 feet, if you've got pittons or something or daggers even.
No, thank you. I'll grab my rope to tie them together.
Yours is 50 feet or 60 feet?
50 feet.
50. So you're going to tie your rope together with...
Mine. I've got a 50-foot rope as well.
Okay. So that's going to take you from... Musharif's rope is 100 foot. And as he begins to prepare himself to climb down, well, I don't know of any way to be able to take this rope with me. You've been good, Ropey. I'll come back for you one day. And you kind of get the feeling that this is you're gonna have to leave the ropes behind if you're gonna secure them into the walls.
Unless Dusted climbs down with his natural climb speed.
Yeah, unless Dusted goes fast, takes out the piton and brings the rope down, or drops it and then climbs down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That works as well.
Alright.
Because I have been rolling so well all night that this is definitely time to do that. So that's what we're gonna do.
Right, then I need everyone to make an athletics check for me, please, as you attempt to climb 100 feet down the rope. Dusted, you as well.
Yeah.
It's a DC 10. Yelena, I need you to make a dex check.
Oh, God.
That +4 saved you, I will say that. As you're busy climbing down, your hands slip and you drop, and as you are slowly falling, you manage to grab hold of the rope again. Maybe 10 feet later, heart sitting in your throat is like rope burns slightly on your hands, but you manage to make it down.
Lunan guidance before he starts climbing.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit! I need a
that's
4.
a very critical
Mate.
guidance.
Oh my god!
So good. Yeah.
Wow!
Thank you, Ayun.
Okay, all of you managed to climb down the first step, no problem. As you start preparing to climb down the second, you can hear the sound of the undead, the bones clacking together, the groaning of the undead. They're coming from above. You manage to get to the second step and you start climbing down again, the second one. Just almost making it to the bottom. Grabbing the ropes, Dusted, you follow down. As you all begin your descent down the third step, the sound of bone smashing into bone reaches your ear from above, as you realize that the undead are throwing themselves off the cliff edge to get to you. This far down, the setting sun provides no light as it begins to grow darker. Visibility is restricted to dim light as you all rely on your instincts to help you down the third step. I need you all to roll an athletics check again in the dark, please. DC 10s.
Can you please repeat the check? I didn't quite hear it.
Athletics, DC 10.
Alright.
Same thing here.
Oh, Dusted and Valrus, you're going to have to make a dex check for me, please. Luna, no problem.
just pure dex, right? Oh,
Yeah.
it's the same for me. Never mind.
Dex a saving throw. Alright, both of you, as you slip, you manage to find your grip again. Rightening yourself as you eventually reach the bottom. And as you do, you're climbing down the last 5 feet, and you can see the grass below you. And just as you're about to let go, Musharib, you hear a splash from below. As you look down below you, 5-10 feet, Musharib standing in the grass, water up to his chin, as he's almost sort of like wading through. We're gonna need to use the boats quickly before any of those undead bastards make it down here. And as you look down, it wasn't grass that you've seen below you, but it's 2-meter high reeds that cover this swamp-filled plain just before all of the water trickles into the river 200 meters or 200 feet below you.
Yeah. As soon as she gets to the bottom, Yelena will quickly open up the boat.
Alright. As Yelena hits the bottom, she pulls out a boat, she starts to unfold it, and you all clamber aboard, concealed by the tall grasses around you. She passes the oars out as you gently receive them from her. Shh. Let's try to keep the noise down for a little while. As Musharib moves to the back of the boat to steer. And that is where we're going to take our break.
Alright.
We got
And in which case, welcome back, everybody. So, in our last session, we managed to leave Kirsabal, make it through the jungle, being hounded and harassed by undead, and finally made it to the steps of the Aldani Basin, where you managed to climb down without falling into the boat in the bottom. Excellent. Right. It has been 3 days as you clamber aboard the small vessel concealed by the grass around you. When Musharib turns around and says, "Shh, let's try and keep the noise down for a little while. Okay. And maybe paddle quietly." And he dips his oar in as he slowly starts paddling westwards.
I turn to Jarlena and say, I have an idea. Do you mind if I cast something on you?
Ooh.
Sure. Hopefully
Well, I
something
take-
bad.
I take 10 minutes and ritually cast Walk on Water on her and me,
Oh, okay.
so that we could potentially go out and pull the boat.
Mm-hmm. Are you going
And
to?
we don't need any war sounds.
Okay, so you're going to actually climb out the boat and walk on water.
If we feel it's needed.
Okay. How long does it last for?
An hour.
All right.
But I can recast it as a ritual.
Okay. Right. Well, you spend the next hour slowly paddling. With the reeds, there's no obstacles in your way as you're moving through this. It's dense reeds that are sticking up out of the water, but the boat manages to move through them. The reeds aren't thick at all. And about after 2 hours, Musharib eventually pipes up and he's like, "Right, well, I think it's safe to say we managed to outrun them. I don't know about you, but I could use some food and a nice long rest, eh?"
I
Well,
think
just nods exhausted.
that sounds like a good idea.
Is
Dusty.
Is anybody not going to try and have a rest?
I think everyone needs one. Not to get exhausted, at least.
Speaking of which, I need everybody to roll a Constitution exhaustion check, a Constitution check with a DC of 22, please, as you all settle in for a long rest.
22.
Yeah.
I need
Oh,
nice.
Mark.
Oh my god.
I need to roll a natural 20. Let's see.
Wow, fucko.
You can do it. Come on.
Nah.
Okay, so
I'll take my exhaustion.
right, so everyone except Vargo, I think.
Yeah.
You managed to take one level of exhaustion. Sleep grabs hold of you in your exhaustion. While the rest is uncomfortable in such a small craft, it is definitely needed. The night passes by uneventfully until the morning, when you wake up to a splattering of rain on your faces. You can now get rid of your level of exhaustion.
That was quick.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning, you take the chance to drain your water skins and refill them as the rain continues for a solid 2 hours. Eventually, the rain stops and the clouds disappear as the sun comes out and it's bright, shining down. As you look southwards in the distance, you can see a rainbow appearing over the basin. The basin itself appears to be a bowl, hemmed in on all sides by the jungle, maybe 400 feet all around it, above from where you are. A funnel from the Soshin Star River down to the Jahaka Bay. What event must have taken place for such a large portion of land to sink so deep below the plateau? You couldn't even begin to guess. Setting your oars into the water and paddling along, the heat of the day slowly begins to build as you make your way towards the river. By lunchtime, Musharib announces that everyone should eat and pulls out some rations from his pack as Hugh struggles to do the same.
I'll hand around again. 5.
Alright, mark off your rations then. All is peaceful and quiet for most of the afternoon, until the boat suddenly starts to surge forward and dip just a little bit, and the ride begins to bumpy. The boat starts shaking as you look down, and just below the reeds you notice small rapids. Everybody, grab an oar! As soon as Musharib shouts out, the sound of rushing water hits your ears as the nose of the boat dips and falls 2 feet before splashing down again. Rapids ahead! Looking ahead of you, you can see little rocks sticking out of the water in front of you. It is about 20 feet downward slope ahead towards the lake in front of you. Quickly, paddle! I need everyone to roll a strength check, please, if you're going to paddle to keep hold of your oar.
Finally, some
Goodbye.
justice.
I lose my all.
Wow. As Yelena, Lunan, and Valrus dip their oars in and start paddling, one of the rocks bumps and yanks the oar straight out of your hands.
Oh my god. I think I brought spare.
I'll just remove 3 oars from the bag of holding, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh boy.
We still have 3 oars left, plus the ones that were in the canoe, which was 4, I think, by the end of it. So we have 7.
Okay. I also need someone to roll for Musharib and someone to roll for Hugh, please.
I'll roll
Not
for
me.
Musharib.
I've had terrible rolls all evening.
Right. Hugh gets +3. And Mushrib gets +2.
It's a 10 from a Sharif.
Okay. Where was I? I think a 10 is exactly no. Yeah, no. The ore goes flying out of Mushrib's hands as well. As Hugh, with one hand, miraculously manages to keep hold of his ore. Oh wait, Dusty, did you roll a 9 for Hugh?
Nobody else rolled, so I did, yeah.
Oh, but he gets +3, so he actually makes a 12. That's fine. Hugh manages to keep hold of his oar. Oh, come on, does somebody have a spare oar for me? As Mushrib sits at the back of the boat, nothing in his hands.
I think we are actually out now. We only have 6.
You've got 6 oars altogether.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, in which case Hugh is like, I guess you should take mine then. Pass it down, please, pass it down. As he passes his oar to Musharib, who's sitting at the back of the boat, using the oar as a rudder to turn. As you manage to battle your way through the rapids, the rising sun slowly starts to make its way higher into the sky. An hour later, you leave the rapids behind you as your boat skims across the surface of a clear blue lake. Looking around, fish are hopping in and out of the water in little areas in front of you, plop, plop, in the distance, while others pass right by you, close enough to reach out and grab them, under the boat and all around. Patches of the lake are cloudy, as small pebbles almost appear to float on the surface, and as you watch you can see a school of fish dart through the cloudy water backwards and forwards a number of times. You watch for a while and then stop paddling to catch your breath. A perception check please from everybody. Oh, some good rolls there. Jeez, like Lunan. Alright, as you're looking around, the first thing you notice, Hugh at the front of the boat takes his pack off and reaches in, and he starts pulling out a long, thin, transparent piece of string with a hook on the end of it. And as you are slowly moving, you also notice that the current of the lake that you're in is almost driving you forwards towards the mouth of the river ahead, exiting the Eldani Basin. It's those of you with above a 15 perception, you actually notice that the lake itself is almost on a bit of an incline. It's almost as if everything is just funneling down towards the River Taff. In fact, the boat is moving of its own accord. You don't even need to paddle anymore. Except for Musharib, who's holding the rudder at the back, dodging a couple of rocks here and there as the boat slowly moves, being pulled along by the current. The day passes without any event, and the sun slowly begins to set as you manage to exit the lake and head into the river around the curving area. Up ahead of you, the night sky slowly starts to grow darker. Well, looks like we made it out of the jungle. Plain sailing from here, folks. This is downhill all the way. I guess we can stow all of our oars.
Good thing too, we lost like half of them.
Aye. Well, Hugh, what you got there, mate? Well, I managed to catch a couple of fish during the day. Not sure if anybody's into like raw fish or anything, but I think I could eat. It is now growing darker as nighttime is set upon you and it's coming close to resting time.
Mhm.
Are you guys going to rest?
Yeah. I'll take. Yolanda will do the first 4-hour watch.
Mm-hmm.
I assume we have to stop on one of the sides of the river.
With a 24 perception, as you look around on either side of the river, by the time you reach the jungles, you are still a good 200 feet below the basin and the grass and the jungle above you. And as you exited the lake and you've headed down the River Tath, you notice that you're almost in a canyon. It's as if water erosion has created a very deep crevice in the land, sheer sides. The river laps up against rocky walls. There is nowhere to pull the boat over and rest on ground. You look like you're stuck in this boat for a while.
I guess we'll have to rest in turn then,
Mm-hmm.
so we can lie down a bit.
Yeah, I reckon that wouldn't be too difficult.
Good.
I might need a bit of a swap, you know. Someone else can take the rudder behind me.
Yeah, I can try that. Would you teach me?
Mm-hmm. All right.
We should just make sure that Virgo is not at the steering when there's no natural light guide us.
I can take care of that, don't worry. There is light at the moment, isn't it?
Only starlight and moonlight.
Oh, in that case, Bargo puts his hands towards his eyes, and when he takes out his eyes glow white a little
Ooh.
bit, as
Mm,
thick as dark vision.
nice. All right. Those on watch, you can roll a perception check if you want.
Erlena, you said you took first watch,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got a
Then-
19.
and rest.
Question: then, if I'm steering the thingy, am I awake or no?
If you are what?
I was in the back.
If you-
Musharib was teaching me how to I don't know what's the word.
steer the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're spending some time steering, then you'll be on watch as well. Otherwise, you'll be resting, I assume. Is that what you asked?
Right. There always has to be someone steering the boat, right?
Yes.
Then when Musharib stops doing that, I will exchange him.
Alright, in which case then Musharib will turn around and tell you to rest first, and when you're finished you can relieve him. And you guys can
Alrighty.
swap. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you'll take 8 hours. So at the end of Lunan's watch, you then swap with Musharib, and he'll then move to your seat and sleep and rest. So,
Mhm.
right then, those of you can also roll a perception check if you want. When you wake up.
When your Lena goes to bed, I will take a look.
Mm-hmm. Did you roll already?
It's rolling right now.
Alright. And Ray, did you roll already?
Is it time for me to roll
Yeah.
already? Let me see. Yeah, that will do.
Wow, we got like some good rolls over here. Cool. So, Yelena, looking around in the evening with the watch, nothing actually jumps out of you as a threat or anything. You do notice, obviously, the canyon walls growing slightly higher as the boat slowly moves along. The vegetation above you, a little bit of swaying palm trees, and as it grows dark, the fish in the water below you seem to disappear for the night. But nothing happens. Lunan, you also don't have any incidents, and neither do you, Vargo. In fact, the evening passes by uneventfully. Vargo, as you're on watch, you're looking around, and by the time you wake up, Hugh wakes up as well at the same time. Right, well, that was uncomfortable. Good thing I'm so small, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, you have the advantage there, buddy. It cracked me up to sleep in a boat.
I could probably lie in this boat sideways too. Yeah. The morning comes and passes uneventfully as you spend the day on the river, which carries you swiftly downstream. You break your fast for breakfast. Cross off some rations, please. Unless you're going to eat raw fish. By late afternoon, there's some rainfall, just enough to drain and refill your water skins. And eventually, when the sun begins to set, Musharib calls for more rations.
Done and done.
Just so we are clear, one ration is enough for 3 meals. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
And I have been removing for 3 days worth of rations now.
Okay.
So that's
So
15.
I think that I'm not removing more than 1 days of travel time at the moment.
No, that's good. I can also start removing at some point.
As the sun slowly begins to set, you guys finish your rations. And are you guys going to rest again on the boat? Same watch order?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yelena, roll a perception check for me, please.
Oh.
Wow, nice. Your watch
Nice.
passes uneventfully. And Lunan, you wake up fully rested, ready to take over. As Yelena, you begin to settle into your rest while everyone else is resting too. Lunan, roll a perception check for me, please.
There you go.
Holy crap.
Natural 20.
Damn.
Yeah. Lunan, as you're settling into your watch, an hour goes by. It's dark, but the glinting moonlight all of a sudden shines off the surface of the water, and you instantly recognize the shining lights as 2 eyes attached to a huge crocodile. He's behind you, maybe 50 feet, slowly closing in.
I start shaking the people closest to me.
Okay. Yelena, you have just gone down for your long rest. Musharib is still paddling in the back. So you shake the people around you.
I shake Dusted and Vargo, I guess, and turn around and say, "There's a crocodile coming."
And as you turn around and say that, Musharib's eyes open wide and he turns around behind you as you see the 2 glowing big yellow eyes of the largest crocodile you've ever seen slowly start to close in on you. And
Does
then...
it look alive or undead?
Oh, it's definitely alive, because as everyone else wakes up and takes a look, Dusted and Vargo, you just catch a glimpse of the blinking yellow eyes as they submerge underneath the water. do.
Honestly, if they want to come after us, they can try.
It's more a problem if it tilts the boat and we end up in the water.
I actually cast water walk on everyone in the boat with the spell, so I spend the third level spell.
Okay.
In case we end up in the water, we don't end up in the water
So, what are you going to
for the
do?
next hour.
So you can't... Well, is this a ritual spell?
You can cast it ritually. I don't. I cast it with a spell slot.
Okay, so it's going to take you your action, yes? As you're busy casting it, then Musharib turns around and goes, "We need to paddle." And like, no, quick, grab your oars. You're gonna...
We only have 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Musharib currently has 1. Hugh is still
Barris,
fast
go
asleep,
ahead.
by the way.
Yep.
I will take
Luna
the
was
chance to
casting.
cast slow on the crocodile.
The crocodile's submerged at the moment, so make a perception check to see whether or not you can see him.
Yes.
I'll say you need a 16.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
17.
Like, good. That's a good roll, man. Damn. Okay. As you do, you can see the crocodile has submerged and he's darting underwater towards you in a straight line. It's actually quite easy to see him. The water's reasonably clear as your eyes pierce through the darkness. You can see his glowing black spot as he's moving quite quickly in comparison to the water. What's the saving throw for the crocodile? For a slow?
It is 16.
Wisdom.
Yes.
16. Wisdom. He does not get any bonuses or penalties. Okay. As you cast the spell, the crocodile rolls a 5. And almost immediately you can see it struggling as hard as possible, but it's just slowed down. Are the rest of you paddling, or are you just watching?
Now's
I
a good
rolled
time to
paddling.
move.
I thought we were rolling for paddling, so I rolled.
I've seen that, Dustin. I know you're paddling. Anyone else?
Yes, what was the roll? Strength or athletics?
Give me a strength check first.
Considering I lost one of the oars, if I have another one, I'll give it to Yarlena so she has 2.
How does that work?
Unless, oh wait, this is a different kind of... Never mind. Yeah, I just don't have it. So I can't, I guess.
Okay. Yellen, are you paddling?
Yes.
Alright, give us a strength check, please.
Uh,
It's going to be a strength followed by an athletics check.
oh.
Nice.
Then an athletics.
Yep, no problem. So you can keep up paddling for at least a good hour without faltering. Oh, Vargo, you've passed your strength, but you know, you're paddling quite hard as trying to escape the crocodile, but I'd say 10-15 minutes later you're starting to tire. Dusted?
Yeah, I'm tiring as well, I think.
You are. The two of you near the front, well, on either side of the boat, which is quite good, with Musharib steering in the back, and as you are beginning to tire, Valrus, you notice the crocodile has dropped off now. It's still trying to chase you, but the speed at which the other three are paddling is definitely pulling away from the crocodile.
And I would say Luna would start paddling when he noticed that both Vargo and Dusted are too tired.
Mm-hmm. Alright, a strength check and an athletics check for me, please.
Yes.
Alright. Alright.
This is Luna's game.
Grabbing the oar, and you dip it into the water, and as you do with a natural one, you lose your grip on that oar as you're frantically trying to paddle in, and the oar snaps and disappears, half of it into the river behind you.
I just look shocked into the water and like, fuck.
I'm gonna change the oar count to the oars we actually have, instead of just the oars we bought, I think.
Fair enough.
There we go, 5 oars left.
Okay. Eventually, you do, however, manage to outrun the crocodile. And as you sit there contemplating your close shave, the sound of rushing water all of a sudden hits you again as Musharib looks up and he's like, "Rapids! Quick! Start paddling!" With 5 oars, who's going to paddle? Oh, Musharib has 1, so there's only 4.
Lunan has lost 2 paddles, so he will not touch a paddle
Okay.
unless desperate.
Bargo will guide himself and try to paddle.
Okay. Yelena?
I guess she'll try and paddle.
That's 2.
God.
And Dusted?
Yeah, Dustin will paddle as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
there you go.
that's a 5. Yeah, a 5.
Oh, okay. Vargo with a 5. I'm afraid you let go of that paddle, unfortunately.
Oh my
As you're
God.
going through the rapids, it clips one of the rocks, tearing it from your grip. You're stuck without a paddle. But, Yelena, you can roll your strength check. That brings you down to 4 paddles. Dustin, give us an athletics check, please, as you start motoring through the water, bending your back to start paddling as hard as you can. Yeah, you manage to paddle on for quite some time, and Yelena joins you in the frantic paddling. Like a
My
slalom,
paddles aren't very strong.
you manage to get paddling for a little bit, but like a slalom skier down a mountain, the canoe almost bounces along the river from one set of rapids to the next. With Musharib at the back steering, you manage to dodge many of the bigger rocks. And you don't even notice the fading light as the little craft picks up speed, racing downwards. And in the dark, all you can do is hang on to the side of the boat or to your paddle for all you're worth. Running the rapids through the night and into the next morning, you eventually get a break, as you no longer appear to be moving downwards, but drifting slowly along a flat stretch of river with not a rock in sight. Can I get... It's only Dusted who managed to paddle the majority, so can I get an exhaustion check, please? DC 13, Dusted. Constitution. As you paddle through the majority of the night past the rapids. No problem, you manage to survive with no exhaustion as the sun rises at the beginning of a new day, reflecting off the high canyon walls around you. You realize you haven't rested yet. Now would be the time to do it. Same watch order?
Yeah.
Alright, let's get a
Yeah.
perception check from Yelena, please.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good, Yelena.
I was very close to being like a 3 or something.
So your watch passes without incident. Lunan? Lunan, you wake up having fully rested. And your watch passes without incident. So Yelena, after the 8th hour, you wake up fully rested, as well as everybody else who decided to rest. Which I'm assuming is everybody. The rest of the day also passes without incident. You pass through 2 rapids that appear to be much gentler in comparison to yesterday. but you still cannot see a riverbank or anywhere big enough to disembark the canoe to start a fire or find dry land. And as the sun sets, once again you're left with the decision of resting on the boat and the watch order.
I'll just remove some rations.
On the evening of your 6th day, as everyone begins to rest, can I have another round of perception checks from Yelena and Lunan? Let's just hide this crocodile.
Yeah, it can't hide from me at least, if it's there.
Yelena, nothing happens. You don't see anything. Lunan, your watch passes without incident. Eventually, it's early morning as you all rise after an uneventful evening. Hugh is tucked into the front of the canoe, sleeping, Musharib at the back, resting on the oar as he slowly guides the canoe down the fast-moving river canyon. Oi, yous! You might want to have a look at what is coming up ahead. Oh, I didn't think we'd get here so soon. And his voice proceeds to wake all of you. As you look around, you can notice the morning sky is pink. The canyon either side of you, while steep, your eyes begin to widen as you stare at row upon row of coral embedded into the canyon walls. Fossiled coral stretches up the walls 50 feet high in some places that look like trees frozen in time. As they run the length of the river as far as you can see, it is all dead, but the coral still retains its rainbow colours, and as the rising sun glimmers off the coral, a rainbow of colours fills the canyon ahead of you. The canoe moves further into the canyon, and you notice, in amongst the coral, and above it, higher up on the canyon walls, hundreds of intact skeletons, giant plesiosaurs, and other marine terrors, giant sharks that are about 40 foot long, which appear to be riding above the coral. You spot a squid whose tentacles stretch even longer than the shark, and various other large fish that you haven't seen before. My friends, this is Ataz Kahakla. Welcome to one of the most breathtaking sights on the continent. Throughout the morning, you traveled through this wondrous pseudo-underwater seascape, breathless. Surrounded by fossils from an age long past. Sitting in wonder, the silence is eventually broken by a loud sorry, it's these rations. They give me gas. I can't wait for a proper fire and a warm meal. As you spend the day in wonder, your canoe quickly moves along the river. You cover about 30 miles of canyon and fossils. You dine on your rations and drain your water skins. By sunset, the fossils have lost their magic as the colours disappear with the sun. It hasn't rained today though, and you've drunk your water skins dry.
Lunan will spend a spell slot on create water.
Alright, as you create water and you fill up everyone's water skins. Evening falls and sets upon you. And I guess you'll maintain the same watch order.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, then let's get some perception checks from Yelena and Lunan, please. Holy cow, guys. Why are all these massive 20s, 26s, and 23s coming out? Jeez whiz. Hey. The night passes uneventfully, unfortunately. Those rolls are fantastic. And you wake in the morning, the 8th day of this expedition. The canyon walls have gotten smaller, slowly diminishing as you cruise along. And the fossils, all but gone. Your belly rumbles with hunger as the sun casts long shadows across the canyon. As you feast on rations, the morning grows bright and hot as the canoe rocks in the river current. The lack of rain the day before only increases the already soaring temperatures. You round a corner where the canyon almost shrinks to nothing as it ends. The jungle takes over. The jungle which continues for another 20 miles ahead before it too disappears, giving way to grasslands, mountains, and then Jahaka Bay itself. As you look forward, Musharib pipes up, I reckon we can make it to that cranny of a jungle there on the other side by that mine up ahead. Probably by nightfall. I reckon we can maybe camp out there, out of sight tonight, and we should be able to make it to that nuke over there by lunchtime tomorrow. Or some of you might like to sleep silent, like opposite the bay, the hideout. Here on our left. Maybe count their numbers during the night. Or of course we could just push through, sink the ships by sunrise, and then head over to Harakama for dinner. Huh? What you say?
Sounds good.
Aye, which one?
I think
You
we've
need to
done
keep
enough
our
pushing.
eyes.
Sorry. Go on.
Go ahead.
Oh, I finished. You go.
I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Oh, she just said, I think we've done enough pushing.
Yeah, we're done pushing. We need to be well rested for the pirates, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So you are currently there on the river. Ahead of you, he reckons the circle in the jungle to the north by the abandoned mine, you could get there by nightfall, camp out of sight, and have a good night's sleep or whatnot, and then by tomorrow afternoon reach the other corner of the jungle closest to Jahaka Bay. Alternatively, you could split the party and some of you could camp on the opposite shore, head there, and then watch across the bay for the evening to see what's going on. See if you can get some intel. It is day 8.
What does everyone think?
I'm glad we don't have undead chasing us anymore.
Don't jinx it.
Yes, probably. Apparently they like paladins. Or don't, I suppose. How far away are we from pirates?
Which ones are our options here? Let's recap.
First, let me answer Yelena. Rachel, how far are you away from the pirates?
Yeah. Do you want me to roll a survival?
Please.
Oh. I think I rolled 17. I don't have anything on that.
Okay, so from where you are, it is about 25 miles to the mouth of the river. And then it's another 10, 20, 30, 50 miles to the actual pirates' hideout. So
So
you're
like a day?
75 miles away. You could, if you were traveling on the river again, yeah, you would get to them on water by tomorrow late afternoon, early evening. The far circle over here
Oh wait.
is
No.
where Musharib reckons if you guys camp for the night and move across, you'll get to the edge of the other jungle near the hideout by lunchtime tomorrow.
We're still on the
In the map of the river. Yeah.
Yeah, the river map.
Mm-hmm.
Stefan, have you updated the map? Because it
I
sounds like you're talking about a different map.
I am sorry, you are still on the river map. Here we go. My bad. Okay, so I've added 3 circles to the map.
Oh, the little purple ones.
Yeah, and a little line across the river where you are in the morning. So there's circle number 1, which is on the jungle area, and number 2, that could be your nighttime camp, and then the next day, by lunchtime, you could reach the closest circle to the pirates. Alternatively, Musharib has suggested you could send a few people to the southern circle to camp there for the night, and then spy across the bay to see if you can see anything. And then join the group in the morning and hit the jungle again.
It wouldn't be stupid spying if we can see boats coming and going.
That is true. Well,
Only dangerous if we are caught out.
pretend to be a pirate, you know? Find a hat, put it on. Get a
Maybe
weird
me,
accent.
maybe me and Jarlena could go.
I'm not very good at pretending to be a pirate.
No, but to the south shore
Oh,
to have a watch out.
Don't worry, Jelena. You are good enough being a pirate for cover for the.
okay, alright. I suppose we will go and spy on the bay.
Mm-hmm.
While
So
the rest of you.
If you guys are going to go spying, then take Arky with you. Another set of eyes wouldn't hurt.
Yes, I will look after your bud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, how are you going to get there firstly? Because you're all in the same canoe.
Would it be possible at like the mouth of the river, yeah, where the ping was, to be dropped off there by the boat while they continue around? Unless we were all just gonna disembark and walk the rest of the way. I'm not really sure.
I would. Yeah, they can take the boat. We could walk over the mouth of the river. How wide is it?
It's a good. Well, I mean, it starts at 300 feet up to a mile.
300 feet.
That's a minute.
That's quite quick to walk if we cast water walk.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
300 feet is 1 minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that you're a little faster, but you have to allow Jelena to catch up.
I can do some water sliding, some moonwalking.
So while you're busy making your plans, the boat is still cruising down the river ahead of you. Grey clouds start to form above as a storm starts to build. As you're halfway to the river mouth, the rain breaks out and starts thundering down onto you.
Try to refill water skins, I guess.
Draining your water skins, you refill them, eventually reaching the river mouth. The storm is still raging as you split the party. It is now afternoon as you both parties make their way onto dry land. Who's going to carry Yalena's boat on the other party?
How much
I will
weight is it
suggest-
again?
I think it weighs 10 pounds.
I'll take it.
Does it fit into, when folded together, does it fit into the bag of holding?
I would probably be a stretch, wouldn't it? It's like a suitcase almost, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to think how short it folds. It's at least 12 inches wide.
Because I think the bag of holding was like 5 times 5 feet, or how much did it allow in size? It says on it.
It allows for quite a bit.
The mouth is roughly 2 feet in diameter
Okay.
at the mouth and 4 feet deep. So it has to fit within that space to disappear.
So the folding boat
Is 12 inches wide and 12 inches deep at least, but I don't know how long it ends up being, but I suppose
So
that's
it
not...
would be able to fit in there. That's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
easy. Okay.
Wow.
I will suggest that since we have 2 guys with us, each group takes one of them.
Ooh. All right. Which guide? Who's going where?
Don't know, don't care. Both seems both are interesting to me. I like them both.
We could take...
Which one would you rely the most to walk across water with you?
Obviously Hugh.
No, I would have said the opposite.
Yeah.
I was thinking we could take Hugh because Musharib seems a bit more talkative and will talk more if you guys have questions about the pirate.
But you're the one spying on the pirates, so...
Oh, that's true, actually. We'll take Musharib.
But I like the Eeyore type of guy.
The Eeyore type of guy.
Oh god.
Okay, so Musharib is going south with Yalena and with Lunan, is that right?
Hmm.
And the rest of you are
Yes.
going north.
So is Arky to the south.
Are you guys going to be building a fire, or are you going to have a cold night? Both parties.
But the southern one will not have a fire because we will have a clear clear sight of line of sight. Damn it, words.
We might rely on Lunan for communication. Now that I think about it.
Let's just divide the parties up in who would start a fire. Obviously, the spies are not gonna do it, right? But is there intelligence enough on the other side to not do it?
I mean,
I know
I
that
am
you are there,
on
Marco,
the north.
but are you still not wanting to be comfortable enough to light a fire? That's the question I'm asking. Would you forgo your comfort for that?
I can ask Barris to warm me up using the prestidigitation.
Oh god.
Can you even do that?
Yeah.
You can drive
Yes, you
it.
can.
Okay, so I got Q. Is that what you're saying? To cuddle up with, or what are we doing?
I'm not against that. I guess someone at some point will make a fire, and Margo will be like, "Oh, whatever."
Unless Dustin is stopped, he will.
Okay, so the party splits, and indeed, as you head north, party number 1 with Hugh, Dusted, and Valrus. Eventually, you reach the edge of the jungle at nightfall, and as you do, Hugh takes a look around. You know, I think we could actually get away with a bit of a fire. Yeah. In fact, why don't you boys start and I'll go find us some dinner, yes? And without waiting for an answer, Hugh disappears into the jungle ahead of you.
Huh.
Uh,
Start fire, unsplitted I like this guy.
Are you going to set up camp?
it's either
Yes.
camp or we throw our meat tonight.
Not everything he asks can be a trick question. Come on, guys.
How hard do you think it will be to build a giant arrow with light that points in our direction? I will. Okay.
You mean
Yeah,
that
that's it.
arrow that is already on the map, right, with the circle?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that one. Exactly.
Jeez.
Just say we are here.
Yeah.
Light it on fire. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we set them.
So, Valrus and Dusted,
Yeah.
you start to take out your bedrolls and make a camp?
Dustin is making camp. He's just going through the motions as usual and setting up some rain catches in case anything happens during the night.
Valrus,
Yeah,
are you going to start a fire?
Just in case.
I'll let someone else start the fire. You know, they can take the responsibility.
Okay. So,
I'll do that then.
Mark is not.
I've already killed Asaka. There's nothing you can do to me.
so the two of you
Bart is
start
going to cast
unrolling,
alarm.
and Vargo's going to cast alarm. Vargo, are you going to set a fire up?
I think Dustin is taking care of that already.
I have a tinderbox. Yeah, I can do that.
I'm ready to prestidigitate the campfire off when we see something.
Alright, you've set up your bedrolls. Valrus, roll a perception check for me. You set up your bedrolls, you start a very small fire as you've gathered some wood. And Valrus, as you're looking out for something, the trees ahead of you start to shake. Something is moving towards you from the jungle.
Boy, how far away?
Looking and peering in, it looks like it's about at the edge of your mind you, yeah, at the edge of your dark vision. You
60
can't.
feet?
It's about 100 feet away,
Okay.
closing quickly. But every now and then you just hear like something's moving through the leaves.
I poke at the others and whisper, "Something's here."
As you whisper, the three of you are surrounding the fire, illuminated in the gloom by this bright burning flame standing out like a beacon. And you look up just in time to see swiftly stepping out of the undergrowth, Hugh. Big smile on his face. Well, I told you I'd find us something to eat. And he's dragging the carcass of, it looks like a wild boar behind him with his one arm. He hasn't been able to hack through the jungle because he's missing the other arm, so he's just been using his body and his head to kind of like backtrack and bush through any of the undergrowth. Oh well, guess we're having some pig for dinner tonight.
The fire is ready.
Oh, I like you. Exactly that, Dustin. So the four of you settle down to camp. Are you setting a watch, or are you just going to sleep through the night?
Dustin's gonna keep watch.
Come on, we can be reckless enough. Make a fire, but not eat.
Dustin is gonna keep watch.
For how long?
Alrighty.
Dustin, are you going to try and get 8 hours to have a long rest, though?
No.
Oh, you're foregoing a long rest.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you the only one on watch?
I will keep him company. So you see, if we make a big fire, the things in the jungle are gonna think that we are confident and strong enough to take whatever it comes. So they will not come. It's an intimidation tactic.
I feel I was just at a lecture at the Genghis Khan thing where he made all his soldiers do 10 fires or something like that instead of 1 each. So his army looked bigger. Just like, wait, which world are we in for a second?
Alright, in which case, those of you on watch, roll a perception check for me, please.
I will give him advantage.
Mm-hmm.
You trust me on this?
Yes.
Okay.
You can do it.
Apparently I can.
Holy crap.
I never doubted.
Natural 20. Damn.
Fargo just joined them on watch only to sit around and not pay attention at all.
Yeah. Just to keep Dustin
Fall
company.
asleep.
So, Velrus and Hugh manage a long rest as Dusted and Vargo, your night passes without incident. Dusted, you watch closely the dying embers of the fire as they eventually dwindle into just ash and coal. Nothing else is really of interest. And we skip to the other party. As you trudge down the sides of the bank in the setting sun, Musharib taking the lead, almost scouting a little bit ahead. I reckon if we're going to be spying on these peeps, you know, perhaps this is the spot. What you say, you twos?
It's as good as any, but yeah, we'll have to take the wind.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Lake. Okay. I'll just set up a little bit of a camp then. Hope you don't mind rations for dinner. So,
It should be fine.
you set up your meager cold camp, sitting opposite the entrance to the bay inside Jahaka Bay, to the pirate area. What is your plan for the night?
I guess half the night Luna will sit up watching,
Mm-hmm.
and the other half Jarlena will sit up watching. So we get our 8 hours of watching and 4 hours of rest each.
Yeah. Yalena will take the first 4 hours.
The first 4 hours to rest.
Yeah, to watch.
Okay, so you're going to let Lunan rest first and you're going to be on watch for the first 4
Yeah.
hours.
And before Lunan go to bed, he cast Owl's Wisdom, enhance ability on Jarlena.
Oh.
So she has advantage on wisdom checks.
Alright, in which case roll perception with advantage, please.
Thank you. Very nice.
Another advantage.
Oh, yeah.
20.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's the trick. Helping each other.
Yelena, you are sitting up watch and it's about midnight. Nearing the end of your watch, you've got maybe 10-15 minutes to go. When you notice a ship entering Jahaka Bay in the distance, it's maybe 60-80 miles away, but you are on a bank on the base of the mountain, and what really grabs your attention is the lantern on deck that looked out of place as a swaying little firefly above the ocean. And you managed to make out the ship, a green flag with a white rectangular gem and an eye in the center is what the main mast is, the emblem on the main mast in the front, and it is also flying on the side of the ship. You manage to make that out as the ship comes into the bay. As it goes closer towards the pirate area, though, the end of your watch grows closer, and you go to wake Lunan.
Yeah, she'll wake him up and she'll point out the ship with the green flag.
Okay.
You.
In which case, Lunan, you get advantage as well then.
Yes.
They've only just arrived, and they don't seem to be pirates, but they've gone to talk to the pirates, so maybe they are
That's
pirates.
interesting. Maybe it will lead us to their hideout.
Oh, that is true, actually. Maybe it is the chief pirate.
Lunan,
Do you want me to roll?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Here it comes.
Yellen, are you going to stay up for a little bit, or are you going to go and sleep?
Nah, she'll go and meditate, happy that he knows enough.
Okay. As you move over to take up your meditation position, closing your eyes, shutting yourself off from the world, and Lunan, maybe half an hour later, you can hear a ding-a-ling-ling, very, very softly at the edge of your hearing, a bell from across the bay. And your attention is drawn to the light that Yelena pointed out, rocking and swaying for maybe 5 seconds before it clicks off, and then it clicks on again. And then, further into the dark cove, another light appears, and as it does, you notice it illuminates what looks like a cave mouth. You stare into the distance, hoping that the moonlight might be able to help you out and penetrate into the cave. And really, just a twinkle with the 21, just a twinkle of moonlight is all that you need to help catch a glimpse of 2 ships changing places. One of them is anchored outside the cave, just waiting, the one that rang the bell. As slowly but surely a ship emerges from within the cave itself, being led by a rowboat. The boat is full with sailors inside, oars dipping up and down as they slowly pull the ship out past the other resting one. You strain to make out a name at this distance, but it isn't possible without higher or brighter light. And then, deep within the cave, another light opens, briefly illuminates a small dock, as you realize it's a door opening, and a human stumbles out of the door towards the dock, arms raised up in frustration, stamping on the ground, and then he slaps his arms down on his legs. Instantly you realize he's just missed his ride. And as you're watching this, someone waves him back from inside, and reluctantly he follows, and the light goes out as the door closes. The rest of the night passes uneventfully, but what you do notice is that in this evening you've seen 3 ships. The one that entered the bay, rang a bell, one came out of the cave, the one that was anchored on the outside of the cave moved into the cave, and the newly arrived ship moved to take its position, anchoring itself on the outskirts of the cave.
Yeah.
Yeah? And
Some sort of turn order system, queuing system.
Yeah, almost like that, you know. One replaces the other as the ship from inside within the cave sets sail and exits Jahaka Bay proper and heads around the mountain to the north and disappears from your sight. As a result of the storm the day before, the morning brings with it a mist that sits over Jahaka Bay like a thick blanket. You get up and you look around, but the mist limits your visibility to 100 feet in front of you. The camp to the north, Hugh is busy tending a small fire as you wake up. Resting above it at an angle is a rack of rabbits. He looks up and he smiles. Hope you like a cooked breakfast. The other team, as you wake up in the morning, Musharib wakes, pulls out his map and takes a look at it, and he's like, right, it's probably gonna take us a good 2 hours to get to the other camp. And from there, maybe another 3 to the edge of the jungle near the hideout. And by the looks of the sun, we've probably got about 5 hours before the mist burns away. And with that, probably our carver too. What do you think? What was the plan?
I guess get going. Be on in a hurry.
We should get moving in a hurry, eh?
Yeah, I don't feel like being around here when we're too easily seen by the people.
Okay.
We don't need to have a fire here. We just eat rations on our go.
Yelena, you agree with that?
Yes, I think it is best to get moving as soon as possible.
Alright, so you guys break camp. The mist hanging over Jahaka Bay, concealing your movements as you move across the river mouth. Lunan, do you cast Walk on Water for all of you?
I will cast it ritually, so we will have to spend 10 minutes when we reach the water.
Not a problem. You should reach the other camp within 2 hours. Then moving to the other camp as you wake up, Hugh has roasted you some rabbit for breakfast.
Nice.
I got to say, Hugh, that I'm very glad you got to stay here with us and not Bushari.
Well, this area I know like the back of my hand. Just...
Which hand?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's the hand that's over the mountain over there to the south, I'll never forget it though, it's imprinted on my brain. Yeah, like the dragon when he bit my arm off. Didn't hurt at all at the time.
Yeah,
I think you should bite its arm off when we encounter it.
That's what I was thinking too, yeah. I'm gonna start with his feet though, so he can see it coming when I get to his arm.
I feel like you would see it coming regardless.
So, what you fancy? Should we go take a sneak peek, or do you want to wait for the others?
We'll wait for the others.
Yeah, it will be really bad if they come here and we are not here.
I imagine they're moving as we speak.
Actually, I can check, and I connect with Arki and try to see through his eyes.
What's the range of Arki to connect?
In theory, I can do the thingy of the senses at any point. What I cannot do is communicate with him.
But you can clairvoyance through his eyes.
Let me see. Actually, it might not work.
100 feet.
Because... Yeah, correct. Then never mind.
Alright, so basically by the time they get within 100 feet of you, all of a sudden Arki's vision pops into your mind and you can see them. They've crossed the river behind them, and in the distance you recognize your camp through Arky's eyes as he's looking down on you and swooping towards you. And as you look up, the rest of the party, Yalena, Lunan, and Musharib, are trudging over the grassland towards you. Musharib waves as they come closer.
How was your trip? Find anything?
We saw some. Well, I saw a ship come into port that had a special flag. It was not a
And-
pirate flag. It was green.
How do you know the pirates didn't have a green flag?
Do they use green flags?
I don't know.
I thought they just had black ones.
So
Yes, sir.
stereotypical. Hey.
Maybe with some skull and bones.
That's what I was told in stories.
Not all pirates have the Jolly Roger.
Oh. Well, that's quite disappointing.
But thanks to Jorlena pointing out the ship, I followed it after she went and meditated, and I could confirm the location of the cave entrance and see that there is indeed up to 3 ships. Or minimum 3 ships, I should say. One is not right now out traveling up north.
I wonder what the activity is about.
I would guess that they always have one ship out harassing the trade.
So, what's the plan? We take care of the 2 remaining and wait for the other to
That's a possibility, yeah.
Actually, didn't they ask us to retrieve them if possible?
Yeah, but then we would have to get the crew as well, I guess. Unless you know how to drive one by yourself.
No, I don't.
Does anyone have vehicles on water as a skill?
Let me check, but I don't think so.
I
Would be
have
hello.
no tools whatsoever.
Lunan did, but they died.
I can
No.
build dragon chest. That's my tool.
Nice for you.
As far as it
Fit
goes.
right in on a pirate ship.
Play chess with them instead of cards.
Unless it's a dinosaur, I don't think I can do it.
The first ship
It's a
was
big
In-
dinosaur.
Mhm.
In any case, I think that is possible. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just wondering what we need the ship for, but I forgot to look at the red line again. Oh, you want to sail cross like that?
Who are you talking to?
No, but we can. Getting cross like that is not the most important thing. That is if we do have a ship.
Hmm.
It
Yeah,
will
but I
only
guess
save us
destroying
like
ships
half a
will
day, I
drive
guess.
objectives.
Yeah, but it will only save us half a day or so.
I guess that for starters, taking care of the 2 that are currently in the cave, it's good enough.
Yeah.
When the 3rd one comes back, we might decide otherwise. Maybe the crew is open to collaborate if we compensate them enough.
Or
By not
just
kill them. I don't know.
or just say join us or join the ocean creatures.
I don't know, man. The ocean creatures are cool. any case. So, are we all set and ready to go to the cave then?
I suppose we'll never be ready. Are we going to pretend to be pirates?
I mean, if you want to try it, I'm not going to stop you. In fact, I will be back. I will be.
You'll try.
You're humans and elves. It shouldn't be hard to fit in.
What's wrong with being a kitty? Don't they live here?
Yeah, but that doesn't make them pirates. Usually, it's humans and elves that bring home trophies. That's pirates.
Well, I'm not an elf.
Are you not?
No.
Does it
Do I
look
look like Lunan?
A little bit.
Dustin is very confused looking at Jelena right now and then looking at Lunan and then back at Jelena.
I'm
And
the superior version of myself.
well, you still got ears.
That is not what makes just an elf, you know. Well, it is in Lunan's case, but I am more than that.
Luna just laughs.
Well, I suppose if you wanted to be pirate, best that girl could always be a captive.
What would we be doing with a captured cat all the way out here? Why can't he be a special case and just be a kitty pirate?
So you think we could trick them?
We could give him an eye patch.
We could put them in the bag of holding.
And we could give them
We
a
just
pig leg.
discussed the mouth size is 4 times 2 feet. Dustin cannot fit in that space, okay?
He does have a point. We could chop off a leg and give you a wooden one now. You'd fit in then, wouldn't you?
This is a very good idea. Hold still.
Well,
It's time to chop off your leg.
both your
Dustin
legs.
just
you can stick in the bag.
pushes his right leg a little bit backwards as a defensive position.
Right, so left leg it is.
Well done for making the choice.
I can use my Sheila over here and cut it off for you, no problem.
I think that's a very good idea.
Okay.
Now, lie down, Dustin.
Luna, are you sure you don't want to take
Okay, Dustin activates feline agility and it's gone.
Quick, somebody get a ball of string.
60 feet gone. Oh wait, dashing, that's 120. Never mind.
3 seconds later, Dustin is... Are you heading into the grasslands, the jungle, or the river, or the ocean?
Definitely not the ocean.
No, it's Margot that has a thing for ocean creatures, not me. No, straight west.
Into the jungle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to jungle.
Can you roll a survival check for me, please?
Oh, yeah, and I'd probably end up back at the camp anyway.
Dustin getting lost.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yes.
How long are you running away for?
Well, he can move that speed in 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I don't think he will believe that he's fast. Like, he still believes himself faster than anyone. So he will probably stop after 120 feet just to check if someone is after him.
So you just
That's the only time he has an action again, after all, because it takes 6 seconds to run that distance. And then he has the action to actually stop up and look.
Okay. 6 seconds later, you stop and you look around. You're in the jungle. It's comfortable here, and as you look around, you can't see the ocean. You can't see the camp. In fact, you can't remember which way to go. Which way is north? This close, you're quite lost.
Perfection.
Shouldn't it be coming back by this point?
Oh, I don't know. Kitties can climb, you know. Maybe he's up the
Yes.
tree.
Does anybody have any catnip?
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid not.
Ah, don't worry. I can see his tracks over there. It's gonna be easy to find. You know, it's all a question of perspective. Look, look. And he points out some of Dusted's footfalls. And you can see him heading straight into the jungle. Now that Musharib has pointed them out, it's quite obvious where they are. Well, we can get him at any time, you know.
Fair enough.
By the way, how many days we have left until the deadline?
It is the afternoon of the 9th day.
Oh, okay. So we are barely there.
Yeah. If you were to set off now for the pirates' cave, you would get there by nightfall.
I suggest that maybe attacking in the night is maybe a good idea.
I agree. Do you remember
It's
when the
worse
ship...
than any other.
The ship came in as Lunan went to sleep, I think. So it was like midnight, I think.
So we need to make sure it's either before or after this.
Yes.
Or
So are we going to pretend to be pirates?
I don't see the reason why.
Because then you can sneak in, pretend to be someone.
We can try, or we can just go brute force, I guess.
Take them down from the inside.
Maybe they
Helena,
have, maybe they have Bert in there.
Exactly. I won't waste this chance.
and we can always take a moment and send Archie in to see if most of them are asleep, if they have guards up.
And
I
then
think
murder
that's
them
an
all in
excellent
their
idea,
sleep.
actually.
I like that plan.
I will ask him, but sure, he can do it. Do you want me to make him a little pirate hat?
Yes.
I want you to make him a parrot. Then he can talk to us.
It will be funny, but it will cost us 10 gold worth of incense, which I have for a very specific need in case he dies. Alright. Then get ready, guys. We are gonna go in for tonight.
Yes. After we get Puss in Boots over there.
Maybe if I rattle one of my ration pouches, he'll come. Just gonna pull one out and start rattling it.
Does it roll a perception check for me?
Nope.
My god.
Wow. Yeah, no, Dusted doesn't hear anything. Not even the conversation that you're having.
I'm just seeing Dusted getting super intrigued by some bugs out on the tree trunk or something.
Oh, definitely. If it's a butterfly, he's been running in circles for the last 5 minutes.
No wonder you forgot which way north was.
He forgot to look for north.
He wasn't looking, that's the point.
Well,
It's that thing where cats look around and see something invisible and this just darts off. That's it. That's all it is.
I can always go and fetch him, you know. It won't take us long.
That is probably best.
Okay. And Mushribs heads into the jungle at a very little gentle trot. And does it before you know it. You don't even notice him sneaking up on you with an 8 perception check. Mushrib is standing next to you, watching you, chasing butterflies, staring at the bark. Ah, you want to come back with us? I've come to fetch you, mate.
Dustin has already forgotten that he was threatened with having his leg cut off, and he just falls back,
Alright.
easily distracted.
So you make your way back to the camp, which is less than 30 seconds walk away from where you were. And everyone else is standing there, sort of tapping their feet, waiting for you. Right. I guess it's been decided that we're all going to head to the pirate hideout then now, right?
Yes.
No. Right then. Follow me. For the rest of the afternoon, Mushrib leads you at a relatively slower pace, making his way through, trying to be a little bit quiet the closer that he gets to the destination. During the day, the heavens open up again. Another thunderstorm comes racing in. The rain pours down for a full 2 hours as you drain your water skins and you fill them up again. And eventually the rain stops, and around sunset you reach the area marked on the map. And as you look around, you can notice the clouds have almost settled above the mountain right next to you. Grey, dark. As the sun is setting, the stars don't even seem to be coming out. The sky is just covered with dark black clouds. And Mushrib looks up and he's like, I reckon in a couple of hours that's gonna break. What you say? Y'all fancy some wet whack tonight?
Does it appear like it's going to be a thunder?
Mm-hmm. It looks like an impending thunderstorm, yes.
Good. We can make use of the noise to come in.
So we have a few ways in, either through the water or trying to find the way the pirates used to get in. Maybe they only go in by water, who knows?
I won't lie. Going in through the front door, walking on water will be awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm considering. And if there's a thunderstorm or a rainstorm, it might be able to hide us a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But
Good.
out of character, should we end here for tonight? I am quite tired.
Yeah, I feel like it feels like a good spot to end.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I'm pretty tired as well.
It is. I was just going to show you the impending map so you can have something to take away while you sneak up to the cave in the middle of the night.
Ooh.
If that is what you are planning on doing, of course.
We're heading to the caves, yeah.
Okay. So,
We're
let's say you take the cover of darkness, you skirt along the edges of the jungle and scout out the way ahead. The Jahaka Bay cave ahead of you, it looks like it has been carefully constructed from bits of driftwood. There is a wall that runs between 2 pillars of the cave, and there is a large, it looks like double doors on the map, but they are wooden fort doors. The wood stretches quite high above the ground. You can't quite see beyond it. The dotted line on the ground is the roof of the cave, which is 60 feet above sea level above you. And as you're standing taking a look around the ship at anchor, you can see that there are currently 3 pirates on the ship. They're all standing watch, but they're looking out to the ocean. They're not watching the ground behind them. It's almost as if they are protecting the bay itself and not the hideout. And that is where we will end. As you guys are sitting, let's say, 200 feet away from the entrance to the cave, looking in, it's night, it's dark, there is a thunderstorm brewing that is about to break. And we'll pick up there next week. Hopefully next week.